people are living with their parents, and you probably shouldn't. It's so funny.
People are living with their parents.
Anyways, yeah, people are living with their parents.
Sorry.
And here is why. Because it saves money.
Because we're poor. We used to live with parents until 2020.
Yeah.
Yep, I kind of miss it, not gonna lie, because I miss not paying bills. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, if you can live with your parents for as long as possible, then you should. And then, like, the economy is pretty bad. So if you can move back in with your parents to save money and pay off debt, that would be cool too.
Yep. So let's get into this and stuff.
Yep.
Laughing at ways we say things. Sorry, guys.
Living at home is like literally the most frustrating thing in the world, and like I feel so ungrateful for like the way that I'm feeling, because I know that I'm like lucky that at least I like have a home to go to after I like left my job. Like I'm really lucky, but at the same time, like it just contributes to like so much of like a lost identity and like a loss in independence. Like someone is home all the time and I like don't have any privacy and I like don't have like any like spaces to myself. Coming back to like your childhood bedroom that like is just so not the person you are anymore, and like having all this like random shit and like it's not your space and it doesn't feel like your space anymore. And like side note, like my mom just decided to start renovating like half our house, so now like we're all on one side of the house and like in like another tiny room that's like not mine, and my stuff is everywhere. Not to mention like I don't see my fucking friends anymore. Like I genuinely can't just go like grab a coffee with someone after work or like meet them for lunch. Like I'm just in a different town, like miles and miles away. And don't even get me started on like the fact that you probably can't even date anyone because your parents are like all up in your business and like you've nowhere to like no space to bring them into. I feel so stupid for complaining about all of this, because like people literally like are homeless and dying, and like I'm complaining about being in my parents' house. So champagne problems.
Please, I'm gonna say this. Please do not play the personal Olympics with yourself. You have an issue, let it be known. Just don't invalidate anyone else's issue with yours.
Exactly. We all got issues, and whether you're homeless or not, you're gonna have issues.
Exactly. You're home. You have a house. You have issues. You don't have any issues, and they're bigger than each other. But don't compare them, because that's just disingenuous to yourself.
Yeah, and living with parents is not easy when you're in your 20s and up, because you don't get any privacy or space, but you probably need the extra help so you can save a lot of money.
Yeah, you truly do. And at the end of the day, like, I get it. It's hard, especially with like friends being in a different city, state, whatever, all that. You can keep contacts. At this point, I feel like that's more of a not a living at home problem. That's just a distance problem. Yeah. If you can't keep up long distance relationships, that's what that is. And I get the whole people being there too much. That sucks.
Yeah, it does. Like you don't have any space to just live freely, so I get it.
Yeah, that's fair, because I lived in a house full of 7 people, so, and it was just like a 4-bedroom.
That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, at the end of the day, things are gonna suck, but you can get through it, guys. Don't worry. Don't let it get you down like her. She's crying.
Yeah.
This is solely just about her.
She'll pull through. She'll get something that can get her out of there.
You'll be alright.
Yeah. I hope so.
As a person who's moved out their mama house at 19, I fucking hate when bitches be like, oh my god, I hate the bitches who be 23 still living with their parents. You push your 24, bitch, you wish. That's the difference. I can still live home and be young and turn, do whatever the fuck I want to do. That's the thing, the bitches that are still with their mom and daddy, their mom and dads aren't psycho. They can leave the house and come in when they want, and they can live and exist like a human being. We can't. And I'm not afraid to say it. I understand we got our issue. Don't be knocking the next bitch because she getting her money up, but she can spend her money on whatever and not fucking
real.
For real. I'm like how short this one is, straight to the point.
Yep.
It's legit a case-by-case basis.
Because nobody wants to live with parents that are like, you're like 30 and they're like, you should have been home by this time and you have a curfew and all that, and you're probably helping them pay rent too. Like, why?
Yeah. My mom was always like, I ain't gonna have my son living in my house. at 35, no job. She said no job. I bet you if I had a good paying job, she's like, oh, you can stay as long as you want.
Yeah.
Like,
helping with the bills. Like, I don't get the parents that's treating their kids like children, and they're like helping with the bills, and they got responsibilities and stuff.
Yeah, because the sad thing is too, like a lot of these children, quote unquote children, that these adults who are living with their parents, they're making legit the most amount of money for the household. You spend most of their money on the household, and their parents are treating them like garbage, and that's sad.
For real. And then people not dating people that live with their parents. Like, I just don't think it's that serious. If they got their life together in other ways, and like they're saving money, so I would think that's actually pretty stable.
No joke. If we didn't move out here and then meet you in high school or nothing, right? I would have been stuck living with my parents forever, for real, because it's down here. It's just bad. So
it's really expensive.
It's just legit. It's a case by case basis. Once again, it's the area. Like, you can't do everything.
Yeah, just hope you have good parents and you stay there as long as you want.
Yeah.
Living with your street parents in your 20s is like sacrificing your emotional well-being.
Oh my God.
And your freedom. And we finna talk about it. So I don't know about y'all, but my parents, living in the household with them, I came from a strict family, meaning that I couldn't do certain stuff. I couldn't be out, like past certain times of the night. So like I always had to be home. Like no matter what it was, I always had to be home. Don't get me wrong, like it's good, like if you're living with your parents, you can save your money and stuff, like you ain't really got to do too much unless they're making you pay rent and all of their bills, then that's different. But I like living with my parents to a certain extent, but it's like, if I'm grown, why are you still telling me what to do? Like, okay, my mom, I got tired of arguing with her every day. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my parents, I love my mom to be exact, but every day me and my mom was butting heads. And see, she's so OCD. Like the room that I would be in, which was my room, she would come into my room, she would tell me to clean it up, but it's like, you ain't got to tell me to clean my room when I'm gonna clean it up on my time. If my clothes are in the floor, that means that I'm gonna put my clothes in the dirty hamper so they can get washed. She would come into my room, oh, you need to clean this up, you need to get these clothes off the floor, you need to make up my bed. Like, I got tired of that. Because
I'm sorry, I gotta cut it off because this is gonna be forever, and I need to say what I need to say before I forget. I've seen this in a different type of video. It was like this young Asian man, and he's living in this house with his mom. Still, his mother has really, really bad OCD, and it's so bad to the point that he's not allowed upstairs. They basically, he lives downstairs. He has his own little room, his own chair. They all have their own chairs, and his dad and his mom live upstairs. He's not allowed upstairs, and it's like,
what the heck?
Yeah, he's not allowed because he's dirty to her, and it's sad and it's depressing. So that would not. I would have to leave at that point.
Yeah, that does sound really sad. And then the whole, again, the micromanaging and all that mess. It's like, you're an adult, so parents should not be controlling you at that point.
No. All right, let's continue the video. We might cut this video short.
Do you want to continue it? It's like 8 minutes.
Let's let it get to at least 3.
Okay.
Because how I live here at this house still get clean regardless. If I don't make the bed up when I get out of it immediately, best believe it's going to get made up by the end of the day. My mama did not like that. So it's like, why? Like, I don't know. My mom just did too much. She would even call herself still trying to take my phone. I remember this one time she had bought me an iPhone 7 Plus for Christmas when I was still in high school. I had it for a good minute. This was the phone that I used. I would pay the bill on it. But just because she bought it for me, when I didn't do something that she didn't want me to do right then, she would take my phone just because she bought it. So the last time she took my phone, I was like, okay, you take my phone, I'm going to go buy me a new one. Ended up going to buy me a new phone.
If your kid's paying their own phone, I don't think you should be allowed to take it away. I'm saying that. I'm going to say that now because now it's their phone. They're paying the bill. You can't take it.
An adult paying the bill,
yeah,
like that doesn't make any sense just because you bought it. Like,
yeah, if they're like underage, yeah, though most definitely you can do that. Somewhat, as long as their name's not on the contract. But if they're an adult paying the bill, that it's out your reach, bro. You're overstepping.
Even then, at that point, like they're of age, so they can like go draft a new contract and like transfer it over.
Yeah, so that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about it again. This is a really long video, and I want to forget before I say it.
on and she got mad. Cause like, why you still trying to take my phone and I'm 20 years old? What? When she would cook food, like we could not eat the food until it was time for dinner. Like my mom would literally cook like how it is at my sister's house. Like she'll cook, we can go in there and eat it and stuff. But at my mom's house, no. If she cooked food for dinner, you only eating it for dinner and that's it. You not eating it for lunch. You not going. If she making chicken wings and rice and collard greens and cornbread, she's gonna count every wing in the bowl every day to make sure nobody don't eat one. Yeah, I got tired of that shit. My mama is not one of them cool mamas. Like how y'all mamas be like all cool and stuff and she would let y'all get a tattoo at a certain age. Like, no. Like, don't get me wrong, my mama did everything for me. She would take me to Universal Studios, Disney World. But when it came to certain stuff, like having a little leeway, no. Like if I want to smoke weed, I could not smoke at her house. She'd be like, oh, if you smoking, you got to go up the road somewhere and do that. And you better not get stopped by the police, because if you get stopped by the police, they gonna take you to jail. You would rather me smoke here on the back porch, with you knowing that I'm safe, than to go up the road just to smoke. And then she would always be like, oh, you smoking weed, that lead to doing the other hard drugs. That you gonna start doing other stuff. Mom, just because I'm smoking a little weed don't mean that I'm gonna get on Molly and crack. Be for real. I've been smoking weed for years, and I have not got on Molly, crack, dope, none of that. Like my mom was just strict. She was just always picky. And then
I'm gonna say this: the real gateway of the weed is who you smoke it with, because they will try to get you on different drugs. So if you're doing it by yourself, if you're fine, but if you're doing with other people, be careful.
They be on all of them.
They be on all of them, yeah. And also, be careful if you're going to be. I can't believe I'm saying this on this channel. If you're getting it from a dealer, make sure they ain't touching it with anything else.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say that.
Or just stay away and say no to drugs.
We're there now. Dare failed. I'm gonna say that now.
my mom never gave me a house key. She put up an alarm. She got an alarm set. She even put up cameras. So like if I want to get in the house, like say if I want to hang out all night, like how I am here at my sister's house, I can go out, be out all night and come back at 3 o'clock with a house key while everybody sleep. She not gonna have a problem with it. But at my mama's house, I could not do that shit. I had to be back at 12. If I didn't come back by 12 o'clock, or she not letting me in, she gonna have some shit to say. She gonna talk her crap. Like, still living with your parents can be a blessing and a curse, but it's like if you got strict parents, you can't really do too much. Like my parents were always strict. They want to know like if a boy was taking me out on a date, knowing his name and knowing like how old he was and all of that stuff wasn't good enough. He would literally, and that was so embarrassing for me, because it's like they would literally want him to come inside. Like I don't want this boy to meet you just yet. I don't want him to meet you. We just cool. We just kicking it. So for you to sit up here and meet him and I'm telling you who he is and stuff, that was just never good enough. They would have to come to the door, come inside, ring the doorbell, talk to my mama. My mama would have to interrogate them, ask them where they from, who his parents was, where he lived at, how long he been living there, how old he was, where he worked at, and all of that shit. Like, I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna be real. I do agree with that as well. I agree with doing that. Not to the extent like, oh, where do you live at? What time? What's your route?
So invasive.
When the last time you came to the hospital? But like, because it's a dangerous world out here. Every day you hear about someone being taken off the planet by somebody they met online or something like that, and getting hurt by them, and that's just bad. So I do agree with the parents there. I think that's a really good way of doing it. Yeah, I really kind of want to finish this video, but it's getting too long.
It's so long. It's like 8 minutes.
And all this hear that they're strict. I guess their house, their rules.
Yeah, I guess that's the cost of saving money on rent and stuff.
Yeah. You got anything else to say about this? Because
if you don't have parents like that, I say take advantage of it. That's all.
That's all we gotta say.
Yeah.
Also, just because the rules are dumb doesn't mean the rules are there to cause you harm, unless they're legit so stupid that they cause you harm.
Yeah.
Anyway, next video.
If you are a woman living with your parents, living with your family, Okay, you're saving up the coin, whatever, stay-at-home daughter, whatever you're doing. Never feel shame about it. Okay, yes, it's a double standard. Men can't do it, but women can. It is what it is. But this is how you can use it for dating and how to get ahead and how to get men to respect you off the bat, knowing that you're with family and knowing that you have people that are with you, care about you, are worried about you, wanting to protect you, etc. The number of times I have pulled out the parent card, I don't care if I'm 28. I don't care. The number of times I've pulled out the parent card, my parents would never accept that with a man who wants to be in my life. I have to be home early because of my parents. Oh, you know how it is in an immigrant household. Like, you know how it is, Okay. No, I can't sleep over at the hotel with you. My parents would look at you like you had no home training. Yes, I'm grown, but I'm not going to disrespect them or myself. So I'm so thankful that you understand that I can't do certain things. This protects you. It actually creates boundaries. And honestly, this dynamic, if you're in it, or even if you're not in it, start using a family card. Honestly, it creates almost like this olden age type of experience where it's like, okay, if the guy can't meet your family directly, he's going to deal with your family's attitude indirectly. Does that make sense? Right? Or deal with your family's disapproval, which men can't stand because they're always fighting for approval with their ego. They're going to be fighting for their reputation. Okay? There was a time where I put this guy on blast because we were, dating, going on some dates. And he did something to me that was really disrespectful. And I was like, listen, sir, when I went home and I told my parents about what happened, because, they always ask, they were appalled. And they were really questioning my judgment about who I'm even entertaining my time with. And it just made me question if they were right or not. And this guy went into full panic mode. When I tell you his hands were in his face, he was like, no, I am so sorry. Like, I'm going to fix it. No, I can't believe I did not want, I don't want your parents to think of me like that. I don't want you to think of me like that. Blah, 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 blah. And I just used the parent card. That's it. Honestly, times where you would think, oh, it's a disadvantage. I should at least be living by myself in an apartment, blah, 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 blah. I get it. I understand 100%. Also understand that you could say it's a cultural thing. You could just say my parents are really traditional and my parents, they're kind of old school. You know how they are. You say that, do whatever. Okay. Men are not running away. The ones who are running away simply they don't want to be seen, to me, which is dangerous, right? Danger zone. So I just love throwing the parent card in these men's faces. And I'm like, yeah, my daddy was a this, my mom was a this, this is the kind of environment I grew up in. So, I can't just go out with anybody, and these men respect me all the more. So do not feel ashamed if you are not living by yourself quite yet, or you're still establishing yourself, or whatever the heck you're doing, having roommates. Just say you have family. Don't say roommates, say family. Big difference.
Oh, I gotta check it behind me because I heard a creature and make sure they ain't chewing on wires.
Nope.
Nope, it's the fat one. Anyway.
But yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because you're using it to your advantage in like so many different ways.
Yeah. You actually hold up. I actually want to see what he has to say about this. I'm just adding a little more.
He lives with his parents.
Yes.
Don't pay any bills either.
Yeah, he doesn't. He has no job either. Hey Dexter, how you feel about this? Very informative. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm goofing right now. But here's the sad part. And I know that men out here are really dangerous. The whole man versus bear argument. I honestly would probably choose the bear too. Because I can hide from a bear. I don't want to hide from a man because that's scarier than hiding from a creature that probably won't even bother me. But I was gonna say that it shouldn't have to be. We have to come up with excuses. Well, not we, because I'm not a woman. But women should not come up with excuses.
Exactly.
Like this. If you say your boundaries, or someone trembles on them, you just eliminate them, erase them from the earth.
It's just getting even more unsafe out here because with all the dating apps, and then you don't know who you're meeting up with, and they could be putting on like a nice little face, but then like that'll only last for a little while until you see who they really are.
Yeah, that happened to my mom
Yeah,
once.
that sucks.
Good thing she got out of there. He was an alcoholic who did not believe in drinking water. I don't know how the man's still alive.
Ain't no way.
No, but and it does suck. It's a double standard because as a woman, like, oh, I'm living with my parents. Oh, they wouldn't like that. And dude's like, oh, that's cute. That's adorable. Ha ha. Or they hate it. And but when you're dude as a man, it sounds weird. Like, oh, I don't mean my mom, my dad will like that. You still living with your parents? What? You're not grown.
Like, it doesn't mean that you're a bum and you're not doing anything with your life, unless you aren't.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's just someone trying to get their footing and they have something to fall back on rather than just getting out there and falling into debt.
Yeah.
And just being in a really bad situation.
And honestly, I'll say this to you dudes because we got a lot of male viewers. And if you're living with your parents, do not, you know what? If someone says, hey, you living with your parents, you're a loser, you're a bum, just tell them what it is.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Nobody cares.
Who cares?
Y'all the ones trying to impress these people, but they don't care. They're going to keep bullying you, but guess what? They're probably thousands of dollars in debt.
Yeah, I ain't trying to impress these hoes. I'm sorry. But seriously, if someone is hating on you because you live with your parents, because that's how life is nowadays, this
economy.
In this economy, if I don't say that, don't be involved with them.
Exactly. They're not worth it.
They're not. They will throw you underneath the bus, I know it.
And very unsupportive.
Yep. That's all I gotta say.
It's not okay.
Oh, you still live at your parents' house? You still live at your parents' house? You don't? It's weird. What do you eat on the daily? Just out of curiosity. What's going on over there? Because I'm just making lunch right now. It looks like a 5-course meal. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, you still live?
See, that's real because there's always food in the house because there's multiple streams of income.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the most stable place to live where you have so many people and you're all just putting in money. You could probably get away with like $50 rent because everybody else is contributing.
Yep.
But not in today's economy.
No.
It's going to be like more like maybe 500, but if it's like 7 people, then and the rent is like 1,000-ish, like that's really little.
Yeah. It's just like, come on, man. Like, oh, hey, I don't know what it is, people, because like legit every other culture, you live with your parents until they die.
Oh yeah, family is like the number one thing in your life.
So I don't get it. You know, we can be 20 different members of family live inside one house. Exactly. So I think it's like a Western thing. It's just stupid, and it's not helping anyone out. And it used to be possible during times when houses were like 25 cents or $1,000, but it's not possible no more.
Exactly, and parents need to really start setting their kids up for success. So if you want your kids to be out at a certain age, then set them up for that so that they can know about like jobs and they know about finances. So they are not getting out here just having to figure everything out on their own, and you're the parent. So you should be teaching them like from as early as they can remember and understand.
Yeah. I like to also say this comment right here. Elite rooster.
Roaster?
Roaster?
Yeah.
Oh, roaster. Oh. They're 26 and they have 100K net worth. Because they were living with their parents the entire time, having a job and stuff. See, my mom would have helped me get a job when I was 16. I probably would have way more money.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you look at your salary that you've earned over the last like few years, you would probably see that you could have saved up 100K at least.
Yeah.
Just by living at home.
Yeah, because my mom did not want me to work as a teenager for some reason. Then, because it's legit, but it's parent by parent basis. Like, but then as soon as I turned 18, 19, I needed to get a job, but you wouldn't help me find one. So,
and I get like not wanting your kid to work as a teenager, because if you're still in school, then maybe you should just focus on that and the grades, because it can be too much to do that and go to work, have to deal with all of this mess. It's a lot.
It is a lot, and it's just too much for someone who is new to adult life to handle. So you gotta really help them out.
Now, this is why everyone is so misinformed, because most of the parents are not teaching their kids about finances or anything that they need to know for life these days. And the schools aren't either. You assume that the schools are, they aren't.
They're not even funded enough to teach them.
Yeah,
Start funding your schools more.
exactly. Please.
Anyway, that's what I gotta say.
Living with your parents in your 20s, it's totally normal. It's really not that bad. But something that's never talked about is dating in your 20s while you're still living with your parents. My parents are always up in my business. When am I going to meet him? When is he going to come over? He's not. Also, if he doesn't live with his parents and you like go and stay the night at their place and then you come home the next morning, it's just really weird walking into your parents' house after spending the night at a guy's house. Living with your
Yeah.
All you gotta say is, I'm having a sleepover with some friends. But you probably shouldn't do that. Probably should tell them where you're at, so you don't get kidnapped and won't show up for the next 30 years.
I guess so, but they'll investigate.
Probably. But seriously, I see this is like a dating issue, and not really tune into that.
Yeah.
I'm tuned into safety, maybe a little bit of finance. But at this point, like, it must hard. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're not a teenager. You're like 20. So
Exactly. It's just the only reason that they should really care that much about any of this is they want to make sure that you're somewhere safe. Other than that, it's none of their business. I get that it's their house and all that, but really, you're an adult. You're not disrespecting the household or them or whatever if you're not breaking any type of rules. You're just out living your life trying to date. Like, it's none of their business. It's completely separate from your lives.
and that's how life is.
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
I guess that's the price, again, of saving money.
Yep.
Being an adult and living with your parents is like the weirdest thing. And for reference, I'm 22, but I just graduated college like a month ago. And everything was all nice and smooth and regular when I was a student. But I kid you not, as soon as I walked across the stage on graduation, I was not mommy's little baby anymore. Less than 2 weeks after graduation, my mom was like, where's your job? Where are your benefits? Are you looking for insurance? Do you see this economy? Open your eyes. But of course, I'm not going to say that to my Asian mother. And I have a job. It's just not my big girl job yet. Every day I walk around here without no big girl job. It's like a bum in a weird kind of way. Kind of feel like I'm in high school again. Like, I go anywhere and she's like, where you going? Recently my boyfriend came over. It was like 9 o'clock at night, so it was later. Literally told my boyfriend, they probably think like I called you up for a booty call, but I'm literally up here having a mental breakdown and I called him because I didn't want to cry for nobody else. It's kind of made me feel weird about like hanging out with my friends or my boyfriend or anybody. I feel like it's gonna give off the appearance that like I'm just like freeloading and lollygagging. It's always pretty much just been me and my mom. So me and her have like a great relationship, and she has a husband now, and we're cool too. We used to all like kiki around dinner and stuff, and now it's like quiet, and I'm like, dang, did I do something? I've heard people say if you live back at home when you become an adult, like you risk your mental health. Being here, I can't escape the underlying feeling of like judgment. We're just in this weird transitioning phase that I never anticipated for. I didn't expect me literally getting a piece of paper to drastically change my family dynamic. I almost just feel like a roommate at this point. We just kind of see each other in passing. It's all still so new and so odd to me, but I do appreciate their support, because I know that's not a luxury everybody has. So if you could do me a little favor and say a quick prayer for your girl and hope that I keep my sanity throughout this process, that would be lovely. But till next time, friends.
Are you blazing or are you from Atlanta?
Both, maybe? I don't know.
I have a feeling. I don't know what I gotta say. I'm sorry. Oh no, she's from Nashville. I'm stupid. It says
Got sweet.
Natural.
that's close enough. Good enough. Close enough. Truly, see. There's a lot of like different situations for this.
There are, like, oh my gosh.
The thing I gotta say about it really is like, it's just, if you come out of college, you're not gonna have your life together. This isn't the 1960s, ain't the 1950s anymore. You can't just go to school, come out, and then have a job already set up.
Mhm.
Or well, you could try to do that, but it's not gonna beat the debt you have, because things are hard now.
Yeah.
They've been hard for a while. The money ain't going up, but the prices are. So it's going to have to happen, especially if you're going to college. If you didn't do community college, because if you do community college, you're going to have less, but it's still going to be a lot.
And that's why the kids these days need their parents' support. Like, I need the parents to start learning about finances so you can teach your kids, and so that once they get up and out there, they're not just lost.
Yeah, my mom. I'm not gonna say that my mom did try to help with like money stuff. She put money into like a Bayport account.
Mm.
I don't have $21 in that.
20. Oh, oh yeah, it's like a few cents at a
A
time
few cents at a
over
time.
the years.
So I got a Gerber account.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, so basically nothing was really in it, and that's been around since I was like maybe 201 or something, and now $20 and I don't know how to get it out, so
I wonder if she had to like tap into it at some point. But,
probably.
yeah.
And honestly, if she had to take care of me and my sister, then go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah. Sometimes parents just got to do it.
Things don't turn out right.
Got to put food on the table. Then there was the recession. There was all of that.
Yeah, but if you are one of those parents that open a credit card in your kid's name,
Don't.
you need to go straight to the ninth circle.
Be on the lookout for that video. Parents just be opening stuff.
It's so sad.
It's not okay.
But yeah, so it's really weird, and I can get it. I get it. They want, like, they worry about you. They want to know. They don't want this control. So don't think about that. Some of them. Some of them don't. I'm be real. Yes, he caught it.
Because your kids need you, so it's not like it should not be like you're just gonna kick them out one day. If they're trying, then you should just be supportive and help them get where they need to get. Yeah. Because it's really hard out here. People are very misinformed financially, and you don't want to see your child in a bad financial situation.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all I'm gonna say.
No hate, no shade, no the lady that tweeted this, but a lady said, at 30 years old, you telling me that you moving back in with your parents is just IDK. Yeah. And what I do K is 45% of millennials and more Gen Zers is moving back in with their parents. And I can tell you why. Firstly, saying things like broke people shouldn't date makes a lot of sense, and I too second that notion. However, it is not realistic. Human beings are going to try to find a companion, and if I'm being honest, the cheapest thing to do right now is Netflix and with Netflix raising their rates every 3.5 months, that's becoming too expensive. We're gonna have to bend it over at Barnes and Nobles. People go home to save money and save themselves from drowning in our student loan debt-filled, ratchet-ass economy river, not to impress other people. There is nothing wrong with having standards or wanting a man that's on his feet. However, if you know you cannot respect a man that has fallen off financially, there's no reason to stay in that relationship, belittle him, or ensure that both of you have a negative experience. Just go ahead and find you a man that's more equipped in this economy. And for those listening to this, like, oh yeah, tell her to leave. Typical black single woman rhetoric. Yeah. Leave him. Because if you think a broke man is mean, you ain't never seen a woman with a broke man that wishes he had money. Them ladies are cruel. No.
See, I want to say this about the money part. Like, yeah, broke men aren't really that helpful, and they do kind of drag down with their own emotion and pride and stuff. I'll say that because I've done it a lot before. But at the end of the day, if that broke man can't make him being broke a pro and not a con, that's what the issue is.
For real. But like, I feel like broke people can date.
Yeah, like, they really can, because people expect dating and you gotta spend money on each other. That's not what it is.
You don't even need to go out and do much. You don't even need to go somewhere that costs any money. Like, you can always just go take a walk in the park and then come back and cook together. Yeah,
like, you don't have to do all that. Y'all can go, like, you got gig stuff. You guys go do gig work together.
Oh yeah,
make that a little date. I know it's working. There are
people doing that.
Yeah, there are people doing that. I know it's working, but at the end of the day, spending time together is what's important. And if they act like you need money, you know what you got now. Get out of there.
Exactly. And even with the gig work, a lot of times, if it's just like, if you're mellow, it doesn't feel like work. It can actually be pretty fun.
Yeah, do some sing-alongs. Just drive. Just go drive. You only get gas money at one point, but don't worry about that now. Worry about it later.
And with the rising costs of restaurants, and then of course, everyone is going to expect you to tip and all of that. It's just going to be a lot of money, and you probably might not be able to afford that. And if the person that you're with is knocking you down because you don't want to go out and do that because it will put you in a bad spot financially, then they're probably not the right person for you, or maybe you can have a conversation.
Yeah, I like to say this too. Even like when we first finally got married and we finally had the money after paying off all this stuff, we did not want to go out because it just kept getting worse and worse. Even people
Every
with
time.
money, the food was getting worse and the prices were getting higher. So at this point, cook at home.
Yeah, and they keep cutting the portions, but they're charging more. Like, what is going on?
Bro, I'm so upset. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Look at the Twix near the aisles of the checkout lanes in stores. Tell me, should I be paying $2 for a candy bar this size?
Should I be paying $5 for one little Burt's Bees tube that goes into lip balm? Yeah. Should I be paying $2.49 for a tiny little, I guess it's 12-ounce soda bottle?
Yep. Should I be paying $10 for a can of for a 12-pack of sodas? That must used to be $5.
$10 now, and then with tax, it's probably going to be like 12.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, bro. Because that mess was like legit. People act like this is like the government's fault, and kind of because they didn't give us more money. At the end of the day, it's always going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really a corporation's fault. I didn't want to get into this little branch off, but
corporate greed.
Corporate greed. That's all I gotta say.
Tired of corporate greed, me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with adults living with their parents.
Oh no.
I don't think people understand. Right now, the average amount of money you have to make in order to live by yourself is $60,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid $30 an hour. Come here. And that is just to cover rent. That's not including furniture. That's not including other bills. That's not including car issues, right? If you were to put all that together, you'd have to make about $75,000 a year, meaning you have to get paid over $35 or $40 an hour. So if you know somebody that is making you feel bad because you live at home with their parents, unless they are making $40 an hour at their job, they're definitely lying to you about their living situation. They either live in a closet or they have 4 roommates. There's nothing wrong with staying with your parents right now, because at this moment in time, the new generation, they can't save any money. The only thing going up is the cost of things, not the actual payment towards their lives.
And I'll say this, that's the biggest issue. People act like is just if the money keep giving people more money, the price is gonna go up. It's gonna happen either way. So might as well try to at least limit the gap between the inflation and the payment.
Yeah, it's just getting crazy. Either way, it's just going to be bad out here because the corporations aren't going to stop stealing and then being greedy, and it's just never going to end. So, and especially with like furniture and stuff and little things that's not like really necessities, you can always just go thrift or get secondhand. That is just the best way. If the couches, then it's good.
Mm-hmm. As long as the couch ain't got no holes in it, dog, you fine. Because honestly, I was kind of like, I was gonna say this at my coworker. I told him we got this table because it took a whole month to get our stuff. He legit said this to me. Oh, you could still gone to this place, which is a thrift store. They have some pretty good furniture. Oh, thank you for telling me a month later.
This is back when we weren't as financially literate.
Nope.
So I would have done a lot of things differently.
Most definitely. Honestly, sometimes I wish I didn't pay it out completely. Sometimes I wish I just like did like a credit thing because I had money coming in, and if like I know it had interest, but I would build my credit because I didn't have that much credit.
There's other ways to build credit.
I know.
I keep saying this. Don't even get into debt. Don't listen to him because don't try to get into debt just because like, oh, it'll help me build my credit. Then you're gonna justify every single thing that you spend money on, and then you're just gonna keep spending because it's justified.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid. Don't listen to me.
The best way to build the credit is to just go and get like gas or get something small. Each time you're putting something small on it that you already have the money for, and then as soon as it posts, you make the payment. There you go.
True. Because the fun thing is, I had like around I had over 1,000 saved up, so that's why I said it. Because like it's gonna go to that anyway. So, but yeah, don't listen to me about that. That was stupid. That was me when I was 20. I'm 24 now. Yeah,
because the interest is gonna build.
Yeah.
Probably like most of the time, it's like sometimes it can be as soon as you make the purchase. I don't know if that's how the furniture works. I guess it depends on the terms of the contract, but
yeah, I just wanted to do that at the time.
Yeah, with the credit cards though, the interest only accrues like if you carry that balance to the next month when your statement posts.
Yeah. Anyway, it really does like it's like the whole roommate situation. I'd rather be with my family than a roommate because if I don't know you, this could be dangerous. And if I do know you, it could be dangerous because anything can happen. You can ruin friendships like that, and it's just like not everyone. You can't live with everyone.
You can't. That's why just keep your distance sometimes.
There's the rule of thumb with friends: don't start business with them, don't rent with them, don't split a big payment with them. You can go eat with them, but that's if you agree on that.
Yeah. Follow the rules, please.
Let's talk about living with your parents for a minute. I've been seeing a lot of videos like this, and for somebody that's still living with their parents, I wanted to put my 2 cents in with this shit. Now, I will say, if you living with your parents and you not paying no bills, you should be up. There's no way that you shouldn't have no motherfucking money. The only excuse that I would take is you being in college. But if you not in college and you still living in your parents' house, you should be up. Why the fuck you such in a hurry to move out? You should be stacking up your bread. You should have a safe house down there. But I do understand if you want to move out your parents' house, depending on the circumstance. If you got strict parents, if you had a lot of shit going on in your house, then I understand why you such in a hurry to move out. I've been paying bills since I was 17. My mama ain't even let me walk the stage before she told me I gotta help pay bills. So I gotta help pay bills. I gotta get my own car. I gotta help everybody else out in the house. And I gotta still accommodate to my living. So of course I wouldn't be such in a rush to move out because I got a lot of shit to pay for. And plus I tried going to college and still doing all this shit at one time. It just didn't work out for me. So like I said, everybody's circumstance different. My pet peeve is when I meet people, you're my age, you have not paid a bill since you graduated high school. You've been out of school 3-4 years. Cuz, why is you not stacking your money? You're bugging. You're bugging. Out of all the work I put in, I was job hopping and some more shit, by the way. But out of all the work I put in, out of all the money that I made in the past couple years, if I didn't have to pay a single bill in my parents' house, I would have a house. I would have a motherfucking Tesla. I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you don't gotta be in a rush to move out your parents' house, if your parents trust you, if your parents let you do what you want to do, they let you go in and out the house as you please, etc., bro. There's no point of you being in a rush to move out. Stop living up to the social media standards, bro. Everything should go at your own pace. If you got strict parents or whatnot, then I understand. If you always had living situations with your parents, you and your parents always bump heads, I understand. But other than that, you should be stacking your bread up and preparing yourself to pay $1,500 rent. These jobs ain't paying enough already for us to be paying this shit by ourselves. So you got to prepare yourself for that. Like now I'm preparing myself for that shit. You feel me?
Did you know we are still within the same federal minimum wage as we were in 2012?
Very believable. It's pretty obvious. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's worse than that.
Yeah. We are going to go back. See, some states have gotten to set minimum wage for certain businesses, but we're still average minimum wage is still $7.25.
Oh my gosh. See, the reason y'all are not stacking the money when you live with your parents is because you wasting the money, you spending left and right because you don't have any bills. If you don't start saving so you can set yourself up for your future, you could have so much saved up and you could be good. You could be set for the rest of your life. You have such a good situation right now, so you need to use it for your advantage.
For real. Even if you're not like stacking up your bread.
Stack the breads.
I'm sorry, I'm too suburban for this. But if you're not saving money up like that, you better be investing it. At least if you're gonna waste money, invest in an investment because you need to invest. You need at least try to make your money work for you, or work on that dream career or something. Because not everything needs college or trade school. Sometimes there's some things you need to try to do, but you can't. I'll say this: you can't ignore the fact that in the future you can't be here forever. You need money. So better have some side projects going on. Better have some money flow happening.
Yeah, and you don't want to carry the bad habits out here when you're actually on your own, because then you're just going to be lost and you're not going to know what to do. And you're going to be in a really bad spot.
Exactly.
No one wants to be there. That is not good.
Nope.
Yeah, and if you are in a bad situation though at home, like, just get out, try to build something and get out.
Yep. Also, always, I'll tell you this is the most, because I know it's hard for certain people, but since you're an adult, you're good. I know some people who are basically around the adult age or still in high school, back in my job. Don't let your parents control your finances.
Please don't.
I knew a girl who was trying to get to college for a scholarship. Hopefully she got out just because her dad was taking all her money.
That's crazy.
Don't let your parents be taking your paycheck. That's you work for that.
Exactly.
You work for that. They didn't work for that. Just because they need to pay their bills, they need to go get a second job. This is your money. This is money for your future.
I can't imagine just stealing from your own child because they're trying to set up a life for themselves and you're just taking just because you think you can because you're the parent. But it doesn't work like that. You actually need to set your child up for the future. And if you want them to pay bills like as soon as they turn 16 and are able to get a job, then you should be helping them get prepared for that even younger. Just simulate some things with them so they can get like used to setting money aside and giving you like bills.
It's bum activity. It's bum activity.
Simulation is all it takes.
And that's all of those for you parents that think that your kids will have to pay you back all of a sudden with their own money that they're making when they moved out because you cared for them. That is your job.
They owe you nothing. Please just stop.
If you didn't do that, you would go to jail.
Your kids are not your servants.
No. That's all I gotta say.
Some of y'all might not like me after this, but I'm gonna say it. After a certain age, saying that you live with your parents is not a flex. I'm 25 and I hear a lot of people in their late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s say like, oh, I still live with my parents. And granted, that may be lit because you could save costs and, you know, you don't have to pay any rent. But what is that doing for your character development? I just feel like if I know that it's not helping me gain rental history, it's not helping me learn how to be more independent at an early age, that's not a flex to me. Like, it's lit. First of all, the best thing is being able to come and go as I please. And even if you are the type of person that you can come and go as you please in your parents' house, you still got to check in. You still got to be the type of person that got to be cautious of what you do, how you do it. And it's just like, no, I'm good. Like, it's nothing about being able to open my fridge and nobody touch my shit. It's something about being able to leave things on the counter for a certain amount of days and I don't have to touch it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things. I just don't want to be that type of person that I'm 40 and I'm just not moving out of my parents' house and I don't really know certain things in life. I don't know that you could turn hand soap from dish soap, or you could cut a sponge in half to save on costs. Like, there's just certain things that really help you develop as a person when you're not living under your parents' roof, especially at that grown age. That's just me personally, but again, in this economic times, I get it.
Yeah, but 25,000. Oh my gosh. Oh brother, exactly. Oh brother.
Oh brother.
This is such a. I'm trying to be different take for real, honestly. You know, who does not know how to put dish soap in a hand dispenser? Who doesn't know how to cut a sponge in half? I didn't think about that at first, honestly. Never thought about that, so I've done it. But who doesn't know how to do that?
And I mean, like they said in this comment, it is a flex in this economy. Like, yeah, it might not be completely setting you up to like be on your own, but in a way it could, because you have the flexibility to like kind of try to start to do that and like simulate with yourself so that you can see where you fall short so that you're prepared and then you can save money. That's a flex right there.
That is a total flex. And honestly, I'm gonna say this, bro. Don't let no one try to shame you to thinking like, hey, once again, this is she trying to shame. I feel like she's trying to shame. And she's saying no shade. She's probably not, but it feels like it. And so this feels really disingenuous from you, ma'am.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Not cool.
I'm sorry, but it's not cool.
Yeah. Flex it. You live at home, flex.
For real.
If you haven't moved out of your parents' house by 25, you're a failure. And the reason you're a failure isn't because you still live at home, it's because you've never even tried to move out. There's more merit to moving out on your own, messing everything up, and having to move back in with your parents than never having moved out in the first place. If you're still living at your parents' house at 25, you've probably been sitting back hesitating on something for the past 2 or 3 years. Oh, once I get X amount in my savings account, then I'll move out. Oh, once I finally have that dream job, then I'll have enough income to go start my own business. Issue with staying at your parents' house is you have no responsibilities, no monthly bills to pay, no commitments, there's no ticking clock at all. You're constantly living in a state of limbo because of how comfortable you are. Oh, dude, I can't wait to start my own business. I can't wait to move to Manhattan and get my dream finance job. You're telling your friends about your goals, but you're doing absolutely nothing to go chase them. But then the second you move out on your own, even if you can't afford it, you have bills to pay, you have to make rent every month, your back's against the wall and the pressure's on. The business you thought about starting, you're going to start on day one when you move out. The dream job that you said you're going to apply for the past 6 months, you're going to apply for on the first day you live on your own. And then you're either going to look back in 6 months and say, holy shit, my life has changed forever. I have my dream job. I have my dream business. I'm good. Or you're going to say, well, time to move back in with mom and dad because I tried it and I failed and I learned a lot, but at least I tried it. So if you've been sitting at home waiting to pull the trigger on moving out of your mom and dad's house to get your own place or move to a new city, just do it, because the worst thing that's ever going to happen is you have to move back in at home with your parents, get judgment from some friends, and move on with your life.
The worst thing that's going to happen, I'm going to have no money. I'm going to end up homeless. I could go back with mad debt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is kind of brain dead.
Like, again, if you're living at home, that doesn't mean that you're not trying, because you should really definitely use that to try, but you're preparing instead of just jumping into the wild, not knowing what you're doing. And then I don't think that, like, on day one, I would just start a business on my, like, when I'm out first thing, if I'm not prepared to, because that's money that needs to go there, and then I have to pay rent. So, like, I got to choose one or the other.
Don't listen to these online people, bro.
Please don't.
This is a really bad. I'm not trying to be a hater, but this is a very bad take. Because this is setting up people up for a lot of failure. Yeah. Trying and failing is not the same as
being prepared
and being prepared. Exactly. You know, or delaying it. If you're prepared, you're prepared. You're still making money. You're stacking up. This Eddie guy right here is an engineer, and he's living at his parents' house.
Good.
And now he has way more money than he could have if he moved out.
Saving $35,000 a year. People can't even save $1,000 a year these days. That is so good.
You know how long it took us to save, like, I'll say $10,000. Too long. Took us. Well, since we had to work multiple jobs.
Yeah, it takes work to save up a lot of money, so that's really good to be able to be in a position where you can save all of that money.
For real, but this is a bad take. This is the what do you call it? The 100. All the shots you don't take are shots you mistake, and it's a dumb take. Yeah, it's not that bad of a take, but the take is bad. But the statement itself is not for this.
You can get out there and try, but again, like, businesses take preparation. It just takes a lot. Everything takes a lot of preparation.
Sorry for yapping y'all, but this got to be heated.
Next video.
I'm 27 years old. I live at home with my parents, and I am thousands of dollars in debt. It's about time I do something about it. I have pretty much been in debt since about 19 years old, which is when I got my first credit card. And unfortunately, I had just very little regard to how this would bite me in the butt, basically 10 years later. It's now been 3 years since I graduated college. I'm living at home, and at the rate that I'm going, I will literally never be able to move out, let alone buy a house, if I do not get my finances in order. I know the road to becoming debt-free is not going to be something that's like super easy or going to happen overnight. I'm talking about years of just poor habits that are stacked and stacked and stacked on top of each other. But I am hoping that by building this channel, it's going to help me build the confidence and the discipline to just get over this bad habit. I have some ideas in mind on how to get started about tackling my debt, but I would love any advice or any feedback that you have that helped you better manage your finances. I would love if you can comment below and give me any tips or resources that you may have that could help me out.
I have nothing for you, dog. Sorry.
I do. Don't go. Don't go into bad habits anymore. And then, just make a plan. It takes
very vague tip.
But it's serious. You take anything extra.
Yep.
You could probably put like maybe at least 50% of your extra money into the debt each month, or maybe like with each paycheck, like I did. Everything that wasn't going to rent or like the other bills, I just put to the debt, and now I'm debt free. So I feel like that would be a good option. And then try to maybe like get another job, and then like maybe from every paycheck from that job, you just put towards the debt.
Yeah. Honestly, I always thought about that.
Yeah.
Time to go to I thought about going back to my old job and like just working there for like maybe like 2-3 months and then dipping.
Yeah.
But that looked bad on me, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to look at my resume.
Yeah. It's all it takes. Just cut down the spending, and then that way you learn a good habit and you don't get to that point again.
Yeah, I should have been a temp. Anyway, that's for real. At that point, It is what it is, bro. You live with your parents, you pay off that debt.
Exactly. And just like I said, this person paid off like 72K in 3 years. Like, that's really good just by putting 90% of their income to it.
Yep. 90%. I bet you the other 10% was being saved or being spent in the household because, you know, not every parent going to let you live here for free.
Exactly.
You know? And then honestly, even if you have a weird one, those strange parents who have you pay rent, but not in like a good way to help out the family, but you got to do it to do it.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Just say if you're paying rent to help out the family, that's fine. But some parents make you pay rent just because they want more money.
Oh yeah, if you got a family that doesn't make you pay anything, like that is so great. Just use that immediately.
Exactly. All you gotta really like just negotiate the terms, maybe. Just in case have a second fund, so if you need to get out, you can.
Yep.
Live in a hotel or something for a couple days.
I would definitely use that, and then in the end, when I get out on my own, I'll just get them a really nice gift as a thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't need to pay them back because they're asking for money to pay back. They're not your parents. They are monsters that replace your parents.
For real.
Anyway, that's all I gotta say. You got anything else to add to this?
Move back in with your parents now, if you need to.
Debating it.
Dang.
But no, seriously.
No shame in it.
No shame in it because money is hard, economy is hard, and that's just life now. So it's not gonna get any better anytime soon. It takes a second.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard work. That's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you for watching the video.
Please like, comment, or subscribe. Actually, do that too.
And share with your friends and family and everybody. Just keep sharing down the contact list.
Yeah.
Please get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Yep. Have I ever really shared a video? Probably not.
I share the ones with the crazy thumbnails and I don't know if something crazy happens.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, share the video. Get us to we're in a number 900 views, 1,000.
Yeah.
Please do. Stay tuned for more videos. Follow us on all our socials, and that's about it. Link in the description. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.